Have you ever felt completely sure about something, only to later realize you were wrong? Or maybe you've argued with someone and both of you were convinced you were. Right? This happens more often than we think, and the reason behind it is something called confirmation bias. It is a natural habit of the human brain that affects how we think, what we believe, and how we make decisions in everyday life. Confirmation bias means that we tend to notice and believe information that supports our existing opinions, while ignoring or rejecting anything that goes against them. In simple words, we prefer ideas that agree with us. Our mind acts like a filter. It highlights things that match our beliefs and hides things that challenge them. Because of this, we don't always see the full picture of reality. This bias is not something we choose on purpose. It happens automatically. Our brain is designed to make quick decisions and save energy. If we questioned everything deeply all the time, it would take too much effort. So instead, the brain uses shortcuts. One of those shortcuts is confirmation bias. It helps us feel confident and stable in our beliefs, but at the same time, can make our thinking less accurate. You can see confirmation bias in many parts of daily life. For example, when someone believes a certain habit or method works, they focus only on the success stories and ignore the failures. If a person thinks someone doesn't like them, they will notice every small action that supports that idea, even if it's not true. In reality, they might be misunderstanding the situation, but their brain keeps collecting evidence that confirms their belief. Social media is one of the biggest places where confirmation bias shows up today. When you like or watch certain types of content, platforms start showing you more of the same. Over time, your feed becomes filled with ideas that match your opinions. This creates something like a bubble where you only see one side of things. Because of this, your beliefs feel stronger and more correct, even if there are other valid perspectives you're not seeing. Confirmation bias also affects relationships. If you believe a friend is careless or unreliable, your mind will focus on moments when they make mistakes. But when they do something good or responsible, you may not notice it as much. Slowly, your belief becomes stronger, even if it is not completely true. This can lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts. Another area where confirmation bias plays a role is decision-making. Imagine you want to buy something, like a phone. You quickly decide which one you like. After that, you start searching for reviews, but you mostly pay attention to positive ones. If you see a negative review, you might ignore it or think it's not important. In the end, your decision feels logical, but it was influenced by your initial choice more than actual balanced information. The problem with confirmation bias is that it can lead to poor decisions. When we ignore important information, we may miss better options or make mistakes. It can also create division between people. When everyone only listens to ideas they already agree with, understanding becomes difficult. Instead of learning from each other, people start arguing and becoming more fixed in their views. Another danger is that it stops personal growth. Growth happens when we question ourselves and learn new things. But if we only accept what we already believe, we don't improve. We stay in the same mindset and miss opportunities to learn. It also creates false confidence. When all the information around us supports our beliefs, we feel very sure, even if we are wrong. There are some simple signs that show you might be experiencing confirmation bias. For example, if you rarely change your mind, if you feel uncomfortable listening to different opinions, or if you quickly reject criticism, these could be signs. Also, if you mostly follow people or sources that agree with you, your thinking may be limited by this bias. The good news is that we can reduce the effect of confirmation bias if we are aware of it. The first step is to actively look for different viewpoints. Instead of avoiding disagreement, try to understand it. Read or listen to opinions that challenge yours. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but it helps you see the bigger picture. Another helpful step is to ask better questions. Instead of always thinking, I am right, ask yourself, what if I am wrong? This small change in thinking can open your mind and make you more thoughtful. It allows you to consider other possibilities and not just stick to one idea. It is also important to slow down your thinking. Don't rush to conclusions. Take time to look at both sides of a situation. Ask yourself what evidence supports your belief and what evidence goes against it. This habit can improve your decision-making and help you think more clearly. Surrounding yourself with different types of people and ideas can also help. If everyone around you thinks the same way, your beliefs will never be challenged. But when you are exposed to different perspectives, you learn more and grow as a person. One of the most powerful things you can do is to accept that being wrong is okay. Many people are afraid of being wrong because it hurts their ego. But in reality, being wrong is an opportunity to learn. Every time you correct your understanding, you become smarter and more aware. Let's try a simple exercise. Think about a strong belief you have. Now ask yourself, what kind of evidence could prove this belief wrong? Have you ever seriously considered that evidence? Or have you ignored it? If you find it difficult to answer, that might be confirmation. Bias affecting your thinking. Awareness is the key to overcoming confirmation bias. Once you understand that your brain has this tendency, you start noticing it in your daily life. You become more careful about your judgments. You start asking questions instead of making quick assumptions. This makes you more open-minded and balanced in your thinking. In the end, confirmation bias is not something bad or unusual. It is simply a part of being human. But if we are not careful, it can shape our reality in a limited way. It can influence our choices, our relationships, and our understanding of the world. The important thing is to stay curious. Don't just look for information that agrees with you. Be willing to explore different ideas. Be open to changing your mind when you learn something new. Because being right is not the most important thing. Understanding the truth is. So the next time you feel completely sure about something, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I seeing the whole picture, or just the part that fits my belief? That one question can change the way you think, and it might even change your life.